Hello there. We're going to review Ninja Turtles. So this is an episode I really like to talk about. That being Fungus Among Us. Sounds like Among Us. So it's basically about the Ninja Turtles are kind of on their own when they're all sprayed with this gas that causes them to see their worst fears. It all starts when Casey and April are ready to hang out with the Turtles, and they go into the sewer. And I think it's April who sees like a mushroom. She thinks it looks cute, but then she gets sprayed, and then she starts to see visions of her mutant dad, who's still the Kirby Bat in this point of the series. And Casey's like, "What are you complaining about?" And then Casey runs away. April runs away. And meanwhile, the Turtles are kind of just hanging out. Leo's trying to meditate, but he can't master it. He even tells Master Splinter about his greatest fear, that being losing his team, like letting them down. And Splinter tells him not to fear it. And so later, Casey shows up and tells him what's wrong with April. And Donnie's kind of just saying like, "You lost, April? How could you?" And then the Turtles and Casey investigate, and they hear April's screams, and Donnie's like, "April!" Like, that's just showing Donnie's crush on April. And the love triangle continues. And then I think Casey is sprayed the second. And his greatest fear is rats. And then he sees like a whole wave full of rats, and he's like freaking out, and then he like waves it with his hockey stick. And so the Turtles see nothing, but Casey thinks he does see something. So it looks like it's a mutant that causes fear. And so the Turtles find even more when Raph gets sprayed. And Raph's greatest fear is cockroaches, as we saw in Cockroach Terminator back in season 1. And so the Turtles try to do their best to take down these mushroom things. They realize they're a threat, and they do take Raph back to the lair and Casey, and they're trying to figure out what is causing it. And Donnie tries to come. He takes a little bit of the sample of the gas from these mushrooms. Then the Turtles. Also, I love the part where Mikey tries to calm down Raph, and then Raph is just like, "It's freaking me out." Wait, no, that was a Squirrel Nerd episode, but anyway, he's all chained up. He even gets dragged by Mikey, and Raph is just like thinking he sees his turtle brothers as cockroaches. It's like, I guess it's kind of done for laughs, and it's kind of dark. Like, this episode's kind of dark, I'm not gonna lie. And then the Turtles do find what looks like a kingdom full of these mushroom creatures. And I love the part where Mikey's just jumping on them, and he's just like, "Super Mikey Bros!" Then Mikey gets sprayed by these mushrooms, and then his greatest fear is the squirrel noise, as we saw in a few episodes ago. He sees like a bunch of squirrels just coming out of his mouth, pretty gross, but anyway, it's all a vision to them, and all the Turtles are just freaking out. And all is left is just Donnie and Leo, but Donnie gets sprayed, and his greatest fear is April not liking him anymore. And when he tries to talk to April, the vision shows April like saying, "I never want to see you again." Then April freaks out when she sees Donnie. They both fear each other, basically. And Donnie is just like, "Leave me alone. I don't want to see you anymore." And he turns into like a giant bat. Well, that's just a vision, though. Even though Donnie didn't actually turn into a bat. And then eventually Leo tries his best to fight these creatures, but he ends up getting sprayed himself. And then he has the visions where he's just in all darkness, and he sees his rudders, and they look kind of creepy looking, straight out of a horror movie, and they're like talking down Leo, saying, we let you down, we're just bummed." and then the turtles are trying their best to fight their fears. I think Raph even finds Mikey, and he's like he's doing like this creepy smile, and then Mikey's head falls off, and then a bunch of cockroaches come, and then Mikey, his side of the vision is seeing the squirrelnoids, and it's basically like the cockroach versus the squirrelnoid. Very funny. And Casey's just freaking out. And we also get this scene where Donnie sees like April kissing all over Casey. It's a weird scene, but whatever. And back to Leo. We find out that this is actually controlled by a giant mushroom. This creature was also in the Turtles Legends game, the mobile app. It's more of a boss fight in that game, but in this, it's like only in this episode. And he finds a tank of mutagen, and it looks like it's from the mutagen that spilled all throughout season 2. And then I think Leo basically says, "I fight my fears all the time." He defeats his fears and destroys the creature. We also get a scene of Captain Ryan, so that was nice. And then the turtles get their vision away, so that's kind of a terrifying ability, because like once you're sprayed, who knows if the effects are going to wear off. And I think the episode ends with the turtles finally learning from their fears, and even Leo conquered it. It's a great moment for Leo. And then Mikey shows that he's got pizza with mushrooms, and because they dealt with mushrooms earlier in this episode, they tell Mikey to lay off. And then Mikey finds a mushroom on his pizza that looks like the thing we saw from earlier, and then the episode ends. So that's the episode of the Fungus Among Us episode. Like I said, it has great moments of Leonardo. It teaches us to conquer our fears, no matter how bad we fear them, even if it's a phobia. So, I don't know what the next episode is. I think it may be the Rat King episode, or I don't know. Wait, no, it's the Metalhead episode. Metalhead's last episode. So, that said, thanks for watching, and Turtle Power!